Guys, today Nitro Pimp going to play with an electric, and not just any electric. You guys know what this thing is. This is an Exocaged RC ExoBouncer. It's not a ram bouncer, it's not a cage bouncer, it is literally an ExoBouncer. It's a brand name like Coke or Pepsi. What this thing is, it is a custom tube chassis made by Travis Vance at Addictive Customs up in Tennessee, commissioned by Joe, so you're able to put a primal raminator rear differential, a primal raminator front differential, primal sway bars, primal shocks. It's got a custom Vidavon skid and a custom Vidavon axial SCX6 custom transmission where it has 10mm outputs versus 6mm outputs. And it's also inside the transmission is all mod 1.5. This thing is powered by a Max 5 G2 Hobby Wing with an Easy Run 1250 in it, and I run it on 12S. And it's plenty powerful, but listen, hear me out. I've been challenged by Brandon at Innovation RC to a tug-of-war. So what we're gonna do with this thing today is we are going to add the updated Vidavon skid, a new Vidavon transmission. As you can see inside there, mod 1.5 gears. We're gonna throw a Castle 520 on it, and we're gonna throw a Castle Cobra 5 HV on 12S. What we're gonna do to this thing, we're just basically gonna gut the skid, pop the drive shafts out, and just swap out the entire drivetrain. If you kids are wondering how big this thing is, that's the new Hubeo Truggy that I just unboxed and ran. And the reason why I grabbed that one is it's a cage Truggy. This is a cage rock bouncer. But listen, that thing weighs about 6 pounds with a full tank of gas and the battery pack in it. This ExoBouncer, kid you not, she's 67 pounds with batteries. If you guys are wondering, this is Exo Joe's. This is his first incarnation of this thing. This is the one, I think it used to be orange. He ran it on his channel. He was the first one to build it. I think there's altogether between the V1 and the V2, I think there's 5 or 6 known to exist in the world. And also on this guy here, I decided to go rear wheel steer, which that was as fun as buying a brand new V4 diff, which came with the servos and the links and all the other good stuff. You just had to take it apart to flip the differential because your drive shafts are not opposing, they go the same direction. And for the record, guys, I am actually doing nitro things. I'm painting a body for this Hot Bodies Twin Truckzilla. All right, guys, so one of the design flaws of the old flat skid was, you see how close that drive shaft is to that motor? You would come down and you get very, very close to it. Hence why I've got spacers in the front the front shocks, and I've actually cut about 2 inches out of the sleeve in that drive shaft, which don't worry, you still got about 2 inches of engagement. But the new skid actually angles the motor up to get it out of the way of that drive shaft, and that's why we're changing it out. If not, we would just slap the new motor and ESC in there and let her eat. But again, I don't know what Brandon's bringing to the party. He brought Colossus last time, and I drug him all over the park, but when it came down to putting some people and some weight on these things, it was a stalemate. And guys, on these Vidavon transmissions, this is the only time anybody's gonna ever tell you this because nobody's ever mentioned it. Look inside that spur gear. There's a little, it's not a little, but it is a 2.5 mil set screw. Pull that set screw out, clean it up, put some Loctite in it. It's on a D shaft. It really doesn't need to be there, but I've had one pop out and it chipped my pinion gear and fell to the bottom of the transmission. I got lucky, but that thing can do some damage. So guys, here's a fun one for you. So I got the Vidavon 15 tooth, 8mm shaft, 1.5 mod, and I've got the shaft of the Castle motor. Castle motor measures out to 8.02 millimeters. The pinion measures out to 7.96. So I'm gonna have to heat this thing up with a torch to put it on there. When you put this thing on, you're gonna go with the flange backwards and it's go inside of the actual mount. And it's almost gonna have to touch this thing, the mount, because it is that tight inside the transmission. But let me go and get the pinion. All right, guys, so this is what it's gonna look like when it's done. So there's a little cover here. I already put the cover back on, but that's how you set your mesh. And for mod 1.5 gears, that seems pretty much about perfect. So next thing we gotta do, get that big ass thing off the floor and get the motor out of it and the skid. All right, yeah, so that's 4 bolts, 2 axles, and 8 really pain in the ass little titanium spacers. But the old motor and ESC are out. That's what's gonna go in it. And for my nitro guys, Savage axle pin, primal axle pin. Yeah, so there she is installed, and she is pretty. A little pretty big for what we're doing. Now I'm about to solder up some QS8s on my Cobra 5 HV, and I mean, what the hell, Castle? You made me bust open a brand new Max 5 just to get a chunk of 8W 8-gauge wires so I could do the shunt for the series on the battery connectors. Guess I'm used to Hobby Wing. They always give you that. All right, guys, I got my ESC mounted. I got my switch mounted to my ESC. Let's go around to the other side. I need more room around this table. And you know me, guys, I'm going to be using a fly sky on this thing. And so what we're dealing with right now is we have forward, reverse, brake, and then we have steering. Wait a minute, yep. We got 4-wheel steering. Listen, guys, tomorrow we're gonna pull these shocks out, get those limiters out of there, because we have all the room in the world for that rear drive shaft. And then put the battery tray in and get some tires on the ground. All right, guys, so I got the battery tray back in, got the batteries in, got everything wired up, powered up my Castle Link. I went ahead and programmed the ESC, set 10% drag brake, didn't go nuts on the punch, I think I went medium. Set my low voltage cutoff, set my BEC to 8 volts. That is huge. And also something cool about this Castle. What I got plugged into channel 4, that is actually the auxiliary wire. That is a backup to the backup. So you're not always running 8 volts through your BEC to your servos. So that is a redundant wire to give you extra voltage. So everything's on. Let's turn this thing on and see what she wants to do. See if I can find the on-off switch. She kind of hides. All right. So she's going to kick that back tire over. She'll straighten it up. You hear it very quietly go up to 12 beeps because we are running 12S. And I got her in just front steer right now, but on a fly sky, very easy to do your rear wheel steering. Now, these servos, these Primal 130s, these things are insane in how these things work. But listen, guys, let me get this thing on the ground. I'm just going to give it a quick little blast, and then we're going to wait till the 30th. I just want to give you guys a little taste of this thing because game plan is we are going to play tug-of-war on the 30th. All right, guys, we're not going to be beard micing on this one because she doesn't make any noise. She makes a little bit of noise, but she does do some crazy 4-wheel steer things. She does have a habit of tearing the tires up on asphalt. Now, I'm not going to give her full beans because this is a lot of weight to be playing in a closed area. I'm going to go ahead and turn the 4-wheel steer off. She's not a bad turner on that. Good brakes. Brakes are key to anything that weighs 65 pounds. All right, guys, so listen. That is the Exocaged ExoBouncer. She's on a Cobra 5 HV with a 500 Tony kV motor, and she's not geared for speed right now, guys. She is geared for torque. But let's go check out that tug-of-war video in a few days. One of the things I did, guys, I went ahead and took out 2 of the shock rebound bouncers. So I got 1 on each side. Figure I need those, and you'll kind of notice that I've got the motor wires and the sensor wire on this thing. They're literally tie wrapped directly to the motor. Now, one thing I can tell you straight up, Branded Innovation RC is proven, and Can It Do RC is proven. No matter how bad you beat this motor, it does not get hot. So I'm not too worried about all that. But other than that, guys, I got the front end tightened up. She's ready to go. Let me go through a couple other things with you.